What's up, guys? So this is a video about my exhaust modification that I did to my 2003 Kawasaki Z1000. So it appears to just look like the stock exhaust. Basically what this modification entails is pulling out the baffling from the cans, and then I also cut the cans probably 5 inches shorter than what they are stock. So what you're gonna do is there's 2 bolts for each of your exhaust mufflers. One is right down here, 10 millimeter, and this one is a 14, I believe. You might need to hold the little bolt on back so it doesn't spin, but take those off and then your muffler comes right off. There is 2 welds on the back of each of these canisters. One's going to be right here, the other one's right here, and then on the lower one it'll be here and here, and then same on the other side. If you have a Dremel, I suppose you could cut those welds, because we're going to need to get these beauty caps off, is what they call them. So a Dremel would work good to cut those welds, and you could tap the caps off while the exhaust is still together. I didn't have a Dremel and I was using a saber saw, so as the whole exhaust was intact still, I made my cut 5 inches shorter than what it was right off the bat. So then my 2 canisters were just loose, they weren't attached, and then I put them in a vise with a rag around it just to kind of hold them, and then I cut those little welds with a saber saw. And you could just tap the end off then with a hammer and chisel. You kind of just put it in there and tap that side, tap that side, tap that side, and they pop right off. And then the baffling that's in there, you can just grab it with the pliers, needle nose, anything, and just kind of wiggle it back and forth. It slides right out. It's not held in at the bottom or anything. Basically the only thing that holds that in is these caps. But I wanted to do that because I like the look of the stock exhaust with the 4 exhausts and kind of the gold color. It looks really nice. But this bike is so quiet with the stock exhaust, you cannot hear it when you are going down the road unless you're at high RPM. So this worked really good. It's essentially straight piped. There is a small catalytic converter down in this elbow right here, and I left that in. I had seen some guys who took it out, but it's loud enough with that still in. So I will fire it up for you here. I'll let you hear it. Really low and throaty. I almost can't rev it up any more than that. The neighbors will be pissed. But no, I was really happy with it. I have a stock air filter in this bike. There's no power commander, nothing like that. And just by taking out the baffles of the exhaust, the difference in back pressure, I did notice that it had a little bit more horsepower in certain spots. The front end was lifting up where maybe it wouldn't have before, and it is just a touch quicker. So I did not, lose my low end power or anything like that by doing this, and maybe it's just keeping the catalytic converter in still. But yeah, it sounds mean as hell. It's a little bit on the loud side, but after riding it a little bit more, I think I'm gonna leave it. I was gonna put some decibel killer type baffle in it, but I think it's fine without. So, but yeah, not too bad. It probably took me an hour start to finish to do it all. and the weight that I dropped by pulling out the baffles in each of the cans was probably close to 30 pounds. So I mean, this bike is 434 pounds roughly dry, so now I'm sitting at about 400 pounds dry weight. So I'm really happy with that. But I would definitely recommend this to anybody with a first gen Z1000, looking into getting exhaust or anything like that. Save yourself the $300 to $600 and just take an hour to do this, because if you're already going to get rid of the stock exhaust, you might as well do this just to see if you like it. But well, yeah, well, let me know what you guys think or if you have any questions.